Welcome back to Transplants. I'm Amy, and I'm glad to see you're back here. This is where we have moved out here to eastern North Carolina and figuring out gardening again. It's totally different if you move, I'll tell you that. So I have transplanted myself to the East Coast here. We are in Zone 8A, I believe. I don't really pay attention to the zones, but if you remember from a previous video, we did a Tryon Palace garden tours. It's a palace in New Bern, North Carolina, and Kim and I went there and toured their gardens. They have a wonderful kitchen garden where I learned the art of Espalier. And what did you call this?
Espalier. It's a French word.
Espalier?
Espalier.
Espalier.
E-S-P-A-L-I-E-R.
Okay.
Espalier. The art of growing trees, or I think it's any plants in 2 dimensions.
I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. I'll put the word across the screen when I edit this video. But basically, it's where you plant a fruit tree up against a fence or trellising or a wall. They had theirs up against a wall. And then you take some of the limbs, like arms, and train them to go out, and then you trim all the front and the back ones. And essentially it becomes like, this is an olive tree. If you remember from one of my garden tours, I bought the olive tree and I didn't know what I was going to do with it. In fact, I had to Google how to even raise it. A lot of people are leaving them in a pot in their house. Either one of the houses, they're really not conducive. They just don't get enough light or something. I can't have indoor plants, so that's not going to work for me. So I'm planting the olive tree out here. This is the fenced-in garden behind the workhouse. I just replaced this board. As you can see, it was rotten. So we came in here and we replaced that board, and I planted the olive tree here. Now, this is a very, very small olive tree. And I'm glad I did this as an experiment, because when I go to buy more fruit trees, I want to do the Espalier to some peach trees, maybe a fig tree, pomegranate. I have some plans, guys. And I will look at the baby tree a little bit harder this time, because I want stronger limbs to come out. Now I'm going to go grab the camera and bring you in here. I did think that I was going to have to put some boards horizontally, but for these first few layers of limbs, maybe 2, I'm just going to use the chain link fencing that's around the garden. So let's get you snatched off of this tripod real quick and bring you in. As you can see, I'm not going to use these boards, at least not yet. This is actually, the length of this is 12 feet, and these boards are not 12 feet. And I think for the above the fencing, I need to go ahead with the 12 feet so they touch all of these top posts. Just make it more stable. But let's go around here and have a closer look at this olive tree. And as you can see, the first strong limbs that come out were very, 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 very close to the bottom. I wish they were more like up here. And that's something that I'll look for in future trees. So in the meantime, I'm just tying that up here, and then as it grows, I will train it to grow along there. Then I went up and chose the next level of long limbs, and I started tying. I snipped off the branch that was coming out on the back sides, here and here. Now that's all that I'm going to do to this baby tree right now. Some helpful hints. I have tried to plant little baby trees in the spring and in the fall. They say you can do it in the spring. It never works out for me to plant something in the spring, not a tree or a bush type, something that's really sustainable, not just an annual plant or something. I always have better luck doing it in the fall. We are in September. That's still very early fall for North Carolina, eastern North Carolina. I'm out here on the coast, so it's still going to be warm through November probably. However, I went ahead and planted this to give us a little experiment. This, if it works out, guys, this will look really good in approximately 3 years. That's the other thing. It seems to take my substantial bushes or trees about 3 years to really get, you know, established and really start their growth. So, anyways, this is my first attempt at Espalier, that French technique. So I'm glad you are here to see this from the beginning, because I think it's going to be amazing. Hopefully it'll be amazing by next summer. So, just thought I'd share this with you.